What's up, you guys? So says the leader here, and I've come with a new deck profile. This deck profile came up while I was looking for cards to complete an Akiza Izinski character deck, or in Japanese, for you Japanese fans, an Akiza Izinski character deck. I'd like to show it to you, and I hope you'll like it. First thing I'm going to do is show you the monsters, the spells, and the traps, and then I'm going to show you the extra deck monsters that I used to create it. First we have Botanical Girl. I'm not sure you can see it well. I'm not sure you can see it pretty well, but Botanical Girl allows you to when the card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add a plant monster with 1,000 or less defense from your deck to your hand. Next up we have Blue Rose Dragon. Blue Rose Dragon, when this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon a Black Rose Dragon or a plant monster from your deck, from your graveyard, sorry. And next thing we have Copy Plant. This is vital for plant decks, and this is the vital tuner monster for plant decks. It can copy the level of a plant monster on the field. Next we have Dark Verger. When a plant type monster is special summoned from the grave, when a plant type monster is normal summoned, you can special summon this card from your graveyard. Next we have 3 Evil Thorns. I'll get to why I have 3 Evil Thorns in a minute. You can tribute this card to inflict 300 points of damage to your opponent. And when that resolves, you can special summon 2 or more Evil Thorns from your deck, but they cannot activate their effects. Next we have Giga Plant, which is a Gemini monster. You can normal summon this card to be as an effect monster, and when it's an effect monster, you can special summon 1 insect or plant monster from your hand or graveyard. Next we have Lone Fire Blossom, which is another vital card to the deck. You can tribute a plant type monster to special summon a plant type monster from your deck. This is vital because I am focusing on swarming the field with plants to make synchro summons and link summons. Next we have Lord Poison. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon a plant type monster from your graveyard, except for Lord Poison. Next we have Red Rose Dragon. If this card is sent to the graveyard as synchro material, you can special summon a Rose Dragon monster from your hand or deck, except Red Rose Dragon. If it was used for the synchro summon of Black Rose Dragon or a plant synchro monster, you could add a Frozen Rose or Blooming of the Darkest Rose from your deck to your hand. You can only use these effects once per turn. Next we have Revival Rose. If this card is in your graveyard and plant type monster is destroyed, you can special summon it from your graveyard. Rose Fairy. If you add this monster from your deck to your hand by way of a card effect, then you can special summon it from your hand. Next you have Rox Rose Dragon. If this card is normal or special summon, add 1 card that specifically lists Black Rose Dragon in its text from your deck to your hand, except Rox Rose Dragon. While this card is in your graveyard, if a face-up Rose Dragon monster or plant synchro monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can add this card to your hand. You can only use each effect of Rox Rose Dragon once per turn. Ready Rose Witch. It can normal summon a Witch of the Black Rose from your add a Witch of the Black Rose from your deck to your hand, and once that resolves, you can place a level 3 or lower plant monster from your deck on the top of your deck. It also, when it's tributed, you can normal summon Witch of the Black Rose and pull off a level 7 synchro summon. This next is Spore. Let's see. If this card is in your graveyard, you can banish 1 other plant monster from your graveyard, special summon this card, and if you do, increase its level by the level of the banished monster. You can only use that effect once per duel. 2 Twilight Rose Knights. Your opponent cannot attack plant monsters or while this card is on the field. Also, you can special summon a level 4 or lower plant monster from your hand when this card is normal summon. Violet Witch. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can add a plant monster with 1500 or less defense from your deck to your hand. Next we have White Rose Dragon. When this card is normal summon, you can special summon one Rose Dragon monster from your hand or graveyard except White Rose Dragon. You can only use each of these effects once per turn. If you control a Dragon Tuner or a Plant Tuner, you can special summon this card from your hand. And if this card is sent to the graveyard as synchro material, you can send one level 4 or higher plant monster from the deck to the graveyard. Next we have Witch of the Black Rose. When this card, if this card is normal summoned and you control no other cards, you can draw one card. If that card is not a monster, this card is destroyed. Now I'll show you the spell cards. I have 2 Basil Rose Shoots. This allows you to special summon a Rose Dragon monster from your graveyard in defense position. Also, if it's destroyed, you can special summon a Rose Dragon monster from your graveyard, that is banished or from your graveyard or in your graveyard. Black Garden. Black Garden is vital to the deck. Black Garden special summons a Rose token when your opponent normal or special summons a monster and halves its attack. Next we have Fragrance Storm. Destroy one plant type monster and draw one card. If that card is a plant monster, you can reveal it to your opponent and draw one other card. Frozen Rose gains 2 effects depending on the monster he's sent control to the graveyard. If it's a plant monster, draw 2 cards and discard 1 card. And if it's a non-plant, add 1 level 4 a lower plant monster from your deck to your hand. You can only use each of those effects once per turn. Magic Planter. Send 1 continuous trap card to the graveyard and draw 2 cards. Mark of the Rose. For the cost of a plant monster from your graveyard to be banished, can take control of an opponent's monster. 1 for 1. It can special summon a level 1 monster from your deck, and if you send a monster from your hand to your graveyard. Steam of Deception, which can special summon a level 2 or lower plant monster from your graveyard. I'll get to most of these cards benefit from that card. Silver Wing, I'll get to why that's there. Silver Wing allows me to protect a level 8 or higher Dragon Synchro monster from being destroyed by battle twice per turn. And if it would be destroyed by a card effect, I can destroy this card instead. Then the World Tree. It gains every time a face-up plant monster is on the field. Place a flower counter on this card. I normally use this to special summon plants from the graveyard. Born of Malice, which can allow Black Rose Dragon or a plant monster to inflict piercing damage, and also weaken the monster and make it be unable to be destroyed in battle. Vengeful Servant, which can work well with Mark of the Rose. When control of a monster is switched, inflict damage to the new controller equal to the original attack of that monster. Wonder Clover, for the cost of a plant-type monster from your hand, can allow a monster to attack twice but prevents other monsters from attacking. Now I've got only a few traps here. Blooming of the Darkest Rose, which I just mentioned. It can allow you to special summon rose tokens to either side of the field, depending on how many field spells are in your field or in your graveyard. It also allows you, when a Black Rose Dragon or a plant monster is on the field while this card is in your graveyard, you can set this card, but you can place this card on the bottom of your deck. You can only use this effect once per turn. Next we have Blossom Bombardment, which can allow a plant-type monster to inflict effect damage depending on the monster it destroys. Doppelganger, I have this as backup in case I run into any monsters that can inflict effect damage. I can inflict the same effect damage to them. Ivy Shackles is my favorite trap in this deck. It allows during your turn, all monsters on your opponent's field become plant monsters. This is good if you can to pull off a lot of synchro plays with copy plant. Now I will show you the extra deck monsters, the synchro monsters. It's mostly synchro and link monsters. This is the ace monster this is one of the ace monsters in my deck. Ruddy Rose Dragon. It's called Blood Rose Dragon in Japanese. When this card is synchro summoned, you can banish all cards on the field. Then if Black Rose Dragon or plant synchro monster was used as synchro material, you can also destroy all of the cards on the field except this card. Also, if your opponent activates a card that would destroy a card on the field, you can tribute this card, special summon Black Rose Dragon from your extra deck or graveyard. Speaking of Black Rose Dragon, that's in this deck too. You can destroy all other cards on the field when this card is synchro summoned, and you can banish a plant type monster from your graveyard, reduce a monster's defense position monster's attack to 0 and switch to attack position. This is why I have Silver Wing in my deck. Black Wing Dragon. This is good when I focus on dealing effect damage, and Vengeful Servant will deal effect damage to me. But with Black Wing Dragon on the field, I can add a Black Feather counter every time Vengeful Servant is about to inflict damage to me. Next we have Crossroads Dragon, which is my only link monster. This is good because I focus on summoning Rose and Plant Synchro monsters, and when this card is tributed along with the Plant type Synchro monster, I can special summon a Rose Synchro monster or a Plant Synchro Rose monster or a Synchro monster. Garden Rose Flora, which can destroy a field spell and special summon a Rose token. You can also use this to pull off some synchro plays during your opponent's turn. Garden Rose Maiden, which when special summon can add Black Garden to your deck to your hand. Let me check. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target a Rose Dragon monster or Dragon Synchro monster in your graveyard and special summon it. You can only use that effect once per turn. Next we have Perialis Empress of Blossoms. It gains 400 attack for each plant monster you control, except this card. You can special summon a level 5 or higher plant monster from your hand or graveyard in defense position, except Perialis Empress of Blossoms. You can only use that effect once per turn. And the next one is Splendid Rose. When this card destroys a monster by battle, you can banish one plant type monster from your graveyard and have this monster's attack. This monster can attack again once in a row. Attack and make a second attack once in a row. So basically this deck focuses on effect damage, like Akiza focuses on effect damage, and also focuses on swarming the field with plants for synchro summons and link summons. I hope you enjoyed seeing this deck profile. If you like my content, please like, comment, and share this video. Also, if you haven't already, please subscribe. Be sure to support the Yu-Gi-Oh! And the YouTube communities. This is So Says the Leader signing off. Peace out.